Welcome to Folktale Flame. Here we share real-life stories that teach meaningful lessons. He said she was just a business partner. Until I found the truth. The secret unveiled. I trusted him with my heart, my life, my world, until I discovered his so-called business partner was actually his wife. The perfect life. My name is Sophia, and for 5 years I believed I had the perfect marriage. My husband, Mark, was charming, successful, and attentive. Or so I thought. We had a beautiful home, a thriving business, and 2 kids. I trusted him completely. I never doubted him, not once. Mark often spoke of his business partner, a woman named Linda, who helped him run his companies. He described her as competent, reliable, and discreet. I had never met her, only heard about her in passing. Linda keeps things organized, Sophia, Mark said one evening over dinner. I don't know what I'd do without her. I smiled. It's good to have someone trustworthy at work, I said, thinking nothing of it. Little did I know I was about to uncover a truth that would shatter my life. The suspicious calls. It started subtly. Mark would get calls in the middle of the night, which he would quickly end when I entered the room. Just business, he reassured me, but I couldn't shake a strange feeling. Then came the emails, the secretive text messages, and the unexplained weekend trips he claimed were for work. Each time he would say, "It's all business, Sophia, trust me." I wanted to trust him. I loved him. I believed in us. But my gut whispered warnings I tried to ignore. Meeting the business partner. One morning, Mark invited me to a company event. Sophia, I want you to meet Linda. She's been instrumental in our success. Excited and curious, I agreed. But when I arrived at the event, I froze. There she was, Linda. And she wasn't just a colleague. She was strikingly familiar. There was something in her posture, the way she addressed Mark, the way he responded. It was intimate. Too intimate for a business partner. I forced a smile. Hello, Linda. It's nice to finally meet you. Linda smiled back. Nice to meet you too, Sophia. Her voice was polite, but her eyes held a secret, one that would soon unravel everything. The discovery. Later that week, I stayed late at Mark's office, helping him organize files. That's when I saw it. A document labeled, Marriage Contract, Linda Mark. My hands trembled as I opened it. There it was in black and white. Mark had another wife. He had been married to Linda for years, before me. I couldn't breathe. My heart raced. My mind screamed. All the late-night calls, the secret trips, the weekend business meetings. It had been a lie. Every word. Every promise. Confrontation. That night, I waited for him at home. When he arrived, I held the document in my hands. Mark, what is this? I demanded, my voice shaking. He froze. Then he sighed. Sophia, it's complicated. Complicated? Complicated? You've been living a lie, Mark. You have another wife. All this time. I never wanted you to find out this way, he whispered. Linda and we have an arrangement. It's business, nothing more. I laughed bitterly. Nothing more? Do you call this nothing more? You have deceived me, Mark. Lied to me. How could you? His face fell. I never stopped caring for you, Sophia. I love you. Love me? Love me? I shook my head. You cannot love 2 women at the same time. Not like this. That night, I cried myself to sleep, heartbroken, betrayed, and humiliated. Watch this video to the end, and don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting stories like this. From Folktale Flame. The confrontation. I trusted him with my heart, my life, my world, until I discovered his so-called business partner was actually his wife. A broken heart. The night I found out, I barely slept. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, my mind replaying Mark's words over and over again. It's complicated. No, it wasn't complicated. It was betrayal. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. I wanted to wake up and realize it was just a bad dream. But reality was cruel, and the man I loved was a stranger I could no longer trust. A woman-to-woman talk. The next day, I did something bold. I asked Linda to meet me. We sat across from each other in a quiet cafe. She looked calm, almost too calm, as if she had been waiting for this moment. "Linda," I began, my voice trembling. "I know the truth. I found the documents." Her expression didn't change. She stirred her coffee slowly, then looked up at me. "So, he finally slipped." I frowned. "You knew about me?" "Yes," she said plainly. "From the very beginning." My chest tightened. "Then why did you let this go on? Why did you let me marry him?" Linda sighed. "Because, Sophia, Mark is a man who wants everything. He promised me security, money, and a life of comfort. And he promised you love and companionship. He plays both roles perfectly. But trust me, you are not the first, and you won't be the last." Her words cut me like a knife. The mask of love. When I got home that evening, Mark was waiting for me. His face showed guilt, but also desperation. "Sophia, listen," he said, reaching for my hand. "I know I've hurt you, but please don't throw everything away. What we have is real. Linda is just business." I pulled my hand away. "Don't lie to me anymore, Mark. I spoke to her. She told me everything. Do you think I'm blind? Do you think I can live in this lie?" He swallowed hard. "I love you, Sophia. I can't lose you. Please think of the children." Ah, the children. My beautiful little ones. My heart ached at the thought of breaking their world apart. But what about my world? My heart? My dignity? The gaslighting. Days turned into weeks, and Mark did everything to win me back. Flowers, gifts, dinners. None of it mattered. Every time I looked at him, I remembered the lies. At night, he would whisper, "Sophia, don't let Linda destroy us. She's just jealous of what we share." But deep down, I knew the truth. Linda wasn't the problem. Mark was. He had built his empire on lies, and I was just another piece in his game. Strength in silence. One evening, I stood in front of the mirror and stared at my reflection. My eyes looked tired. My soul looked wounded. But somewhere deep inside, I saw strength. I whispered to myself, "Sophia, you are more than this. You are more than a man's lies." It was time to decide. Would I stay and live in a marriage of secrets? Or would I walk away and rebuild my life with dignity? The children asked. Then came the hardest moment. My son, just 7 years old, looked at me one night and asked, "Mommy, why are you sad all the time?" Tears filled my eyes. How could I explain to a child that his father was living 2 lives? How could I protect them from a storm they did not create? That night, I knew my decision. I could forgive a mistake. I could forgive weakness. But I could not forgive a life built on lies. Watch this video to the end and don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting stories like this. From Folktale Flame. The Truth and the Choice. He told me Linda was just a business partner, but when I discovered she was his wife, I had to choose: live in lies or walk away in truth. The final confrontation. That night, I asked Mark to sit down at the dining table. My hands shook as I placed the documents, the marriage certificate, the property deeds, the proof, on the table before him. He froze, his face pale. "Mark," I said firmly, "no more lies. I know Linda is your wife. I know I was living in her shadow all this time. I deserve the truth and I deserve my freedom." He tried to speak, but I held up my hand. "Don't," I whispered. "Don't insult me with another excuse. I loved you with everything in me, but love without honesty is just poison." Tears filled his eyes. "Sophia, I didn't want to lose you. Linda was security. You were my heart." I shook my head. No, if I were your heart, you wouldn't have broken mine. Linda's last word. 2 days later, Linda came to see me again. She looked calm, almost relieved. "You're stronger than I thought," she said. I raised my eyebrow. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I stayed with Mark out of fear. Fear of starting over, fear of losing comfort. But you have the courage to walk away. Don't waste that. Don't let him pull you back." For the first time, I saw her not as my rival, but as another victim of Mark's double life. Choosing freedom. The next morning, I packed my bags. My children stood by the door, confused but holding my hands tightly. Mark begged, he cried, he promised to change, but promises from a man who lived in lies were empty. As I stepped out of the house, I whispered to myself, "This is not the end. This is the beginning." Rebuilding. Life after Mark was not easy. There were nights I cried myself to sleep. There were mornings I questioned if I had made the right decision. But slowly I found strength. I got a job. I built a new home for my children. I discovered that peace is better than diamonds, and honesty is richer than gold. Mark? He still called sometimes, begging for another chance. But I never looked back. The lesson. Looking into the camera now, I want to say this. Love without honesty is a prison. A man who hides you, lies to you, or divides his life between you and another does not deserve your tears, your time, or your future. Ladies, never be so blinded by love that you ignore the red flags. If he says, "She's just a friend," or "She's just a business partner," watch closely. Actions reveal truth, not words. And most importantly, you are strong enough to walk away. You are enough, even without him. If this story touched your heart, don't just leave quietly. Like this video to support the message. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever trusted someone who betrayed you? And subscribe for more powerful life stories that teach, heal, and inspire.